kid who directed Grandma's Boy, Nick Goosen, is friends with Benji Madden and our other friend Dirt Nasty, who's Simon Rex. They're friends with Benji, and they asked me, they're like, dude, do you want to play Ronald McDonald in a video? And I'm like, are you shitting me? Do I want to play Ronald McDonald? Fuck yes, I want to play Ronald McDonald. You know, and cut to me putting the red lipstick on at the beginning of the video. And that song is rad. That song's dope. You know, and I love it because kids now dress up as those guys for Halloween and shit, and they say, you know, and they tweet out pictures and stuff. But Benji was a great dude. He was Jack in the Box, obviously. Simon was Colonel Sanders. This kid DJ Troublemaker was Burger King, and Nick Swartzen was Wendy from Wendy's, dude. Of course, Swartzen always being the funniest. Crushed it as Wendy did. I mean, in the strip joint scene with him doing the fake coke and the shit he did was just classic. And I don't know if anyone really knows, I don't really watch porn. I have friends that do it, so I don't really watch it, but those were all real porn stars in that thing with us. Mia Miley and these other, like the chicks in it were all porn stars, and I didn't know it at the time. And then, like, some dude came up to me and said, he's all, hey, I'm with these girls, bro, you gotta, like, stay away from her. And I'm good with, you know, I'm good without these girls. There's plenty of girls, you know, and I'm married. I was married at the time. I was married anyways, and so it was just interesting to see that those chicks were all real porn stars in that video. And that video was fun. We shot it at the Roxy. We shot it all in one day. We got in there like 9 a.m. and worked till probably 2 in the morning or something. It was crazy. Long day, but a lot of fun. Got to strap a camera to myself, you know, running around the Sunset Boulevard, driving Benji Madden's Escalade in that video, dude, smoking the ganj. Was kind of funny because the West Hollywood sheriffs pulled up on us, and they're like, "Oh fuck, Dante, watch out, the sheriff's there!" And I'm all joint in hand. I look out the window. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, fellas?" And they're like, they just wanted to take pictures of us. They didn't want to pull us over. So that's the good fortune part about that job. You know, where they're like, "Oh, what's up, fellas?" They just, you know. So that video was a lot of fun. I had a really good time doing that. The bands that I'm working with right now presently are, like, one I was supposed to be recording with tonight is Sid, the DJ from Slipknot, does EDM and hip hop. He's got a really good hip hop group, and he builds EDM tracks also that I'm going to be singing on and rapping on with him. And we're recording this little studio in Venice. I go over there late at night and we go and tear shit up. And it's so loud, dude. These tracks this guy builds are so legit. Then I have this other deal where I'm working with Universal Bungalow with a kid named Luke Caldwell who went to Chapman. And this is a funny story. He had this, you can look it up still probably on YouTube. He had this song called Get Your Drink On when he was in this band called White and Crazy Kids. He called me out of the blue on the phone. And now Universal's in the middle of working on I think 12 or 13 tracks of ours that we recorded in 3 days up at my house, the last house I had in Sherman Oaks. And then Luke, like, raps on them because he's a rapper. And so I have that deal going on, working on that, doing a couple more music videos with that. And then I have a reggae band also with Rock Diedrich, who is, he's the rock in my band. He's an incredible guy. He's Ziggy Marley's drummer. And my bass player is George Fully Fullwood, which was one of Bob Marley's original bass players in Jamaica. And he didn't come over here for the original tour because he didn't know if Bob was going to make it. And so Bob took another bass player, which ended up being Bob Marley and the Wailers, and with Peter Tosh and them. And Fully's been doing his own thing and recording off and on. He's now with me, and we'll be playing. We play down in Huntington Beach at Bob's Beachcomber once in a while, so look for us there. But we'll be playing a bunch of places, and hopefully at some point I'll be doing a mix of both, where I'll be playing the reggae stuff earlier in the night, earlier in the day, like a festival type situation, and then at night do the EDM stuff and the hip hop stuff, because that's for the clubs and for the late night crew of kids who like to get a little crazy. Favorite artist, you know what? Dude, you know, it's incredible because at the beginning of this like DJ craze, I had a little bit of a resistance to, like, what, these guys just stand behind their computers or whatever. But it's like, but yet now I've grown to have so much more respect with them because the smash up thing that they do, and the remixes and stuff, it's pretty incredible. Like, I'm friends with Steve Aoki, and not only his incredible DJ, He's an incredible performer. He surfs the crowd in his rubber boat, dude. Me and him and Shaq, I watched him race Michael Phelps in a pool in Miami where he was paddling his rubber boat. And the one also thing that I like to do someday with Steve Aoki, besides I've done the jump with him, he does a Steve Aoki jump. I've done that with him and Phelps, and Shaq just stood there. And I would like to go see him and help him smash people with the cakes on stage. So I might be hitting Vegas soon and helping Steve throw some cakes in people's faces. And I'm friends with guys like Kid Cudi, who I definitely want to have feature on like some of my EDM stuff if he wants to sing or rap or do anything. And I want to get Steve to remix, one of my favorite songs. Hopefully the song Live Forever, maybe. It's just like friends working with friends, and when you meet people, most of my favorite performers, the reason I like them as performers and as human beings is because they're just regular guys. So behind the scenes, the funny thing about the Happy Madison crew is that Adam basically hires people who are his friends often, but they're mostly the most talented people in the world, like Buscemi. Good one. Old Bush. On The Wedding Singer, Sandler was like, he's like, Dante, tomorrow you're going to be in there a few hours earlier than me, because he doesn't, he shows up 7 or 8, and I had to be in at like 5:30 makeup or something. He's like, you're going to run and do Buscemi, introduce yourself, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right. I'm in there in the makeup chair, I see Buscemi next to me. I was fucking nervous, dude, already, just from, I knew he was an incredible actor. They had already done Airheads, and so I'm like, hey, Steve, what's up? I'm Pete Dante, nice to meet you. He's like, oh, you're the guy playing my, the other guy with me. And he goes through this whole bio of where we were the night before the wedding. I mean, he told me the greatest shit about where our characters were before we even got to that wedding. And we drank all day before the wedding and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wow, dude. I was just listening like, all right, cool. And when we ended up shooting it, he was so fucking funny, man. If you go back and watch The Wedding Singer.
Because you've always been there for me. Like when I was in rehab, and like the time I couldn't find my car. Because Harold, he's always been the dependable one, and I've always been the screwed up one. Right, Dad? Why can't you be more like your brother? Harold would never beat up his landlord.
He's drunk as shit. Bush was so fucking funny playing the drunk. He wasn't drunk at all. He was drinking apple juice out of that glass, how he breaks it when he falls off the curb and, plays the guitar and no thanks to you to his dad and shit. He was genius because Buscemi is one of those guys who can act real serious or be the funniest dude in the world. Big Daddy, good story about Buscemi and Big Daddy. He's playing the homeless guy.
This is where I live, little man.
And he has to go in the shopping cart down a hill. And we had a stunt guy for him, right? And Bush was like, no, I want to do one. And let me do one, because then I can get my reactions right or whatever. And this fucking guy, dude.
Get too high.
Slow down! You want me a sausage McMuffin?
Santa. He went down the hill in Central Park in the fucking shopping cart.
Okay. Situation.
Ate shit. And got up, and his fucking reactions were so real because I think he was probably hurt a little.
There's a pole there. She keep on
We all pissed our pants laughing. He's always the funniest dude. Whenever we have him in a movie, he's the fucking funniest. But Crazy Eyes, when he played Crazy Eyes with me and Mr. Deeds.
Hey, eat.
We're eating this pizza with Oreos on it, I think.
French fries and Oreos. You know me all too well, Deeds.
Pretty sure there was Oreos on it. He's like, in between takes, like, Dante, I can't fucking see a thing with these contacts in there, making my eyes cross. He goes, put the pizza near my fucking face so I could smell it first. And then I'll grab it. And I was like, Jesus, Boosh, you're fucking nuts. And when he drives a Corvette with the snowman next to him, he drove that with the contacts and he couldn't fucking see.
Damn, these things are fast.
We were like, oh my God, he's definitely crashing his fucking Corvette.
I'm okay!
That guy is always the fucking funniest in anything. Always. And I mean, he's the most legit guy also. He was a volunteer firefighter in New York. and was like a first responder at 9/11 too. He's like legitimate, funniest guy, most talented guy out of all the guys that Sandler hired. Behind the scenes, Waterboy, Kathy Bates, Mama.
Don't you remember what your mama told you about girls?
I remember.
We were scared shitless of her because she had already won an Academy Award for Misery. You know, we were like, Jesus, we got Kathy Bates plays fucking mom. What? God. And she would like, the director, Frank Caracci, he'd be like, okay, we're rolling, everybody. Get ready, we're rolling, everyone. And he has this lisp, and he's like, Kathy, are you ready? And she'd be like, let's fucking go. Like, not yell at him like mad, but like, let's go. And we'd be like, oh, Jesus. We would all get like nervous before we'd have to be funny. She was great to work with. Oh, Henry Winkler in that movie. We went out to eat. Blake Clark, Henry Winkler, and I, and a bunch of us would go out to eat almost like 3-4 nights a week during Waterboy. Any restaurant you went into with the Fonz, bro, in like Central Florida, you got, for one photo, the owner would come up to our table and be like, oh, Henry, Mr. Winkler, can I just get one photo with you, and then the dinner's on me, everything, wine, but we'd be like, yeah, dude, take the picture, you know? Henry would be like, yeah, of course, he's the sweetest guy ever. He'd take the photo, we'd get a free meal, free wine, amazing. And I mean, poor Henry also down in places like St. Cloud, Florida, they're nice places. But when we were shooting, like in the middle of nowhere, large women would ask him to sign their sweaty backs and their breasts, and then that didn't feel like the Fonz was cool, but God, when he did that, I was like, oh, tough to be the Fonz sometimes. Jon Stewart, call him out. When I yell, prove it.
Prove it.
Because he said he showed his ass or whatever, blah, 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 Chinese, that, you know, and I yell, prove it. There was like 200 extras in that room, or maybe 100 extras. And I'm like, dude, you should moon the extras, you know? Wouldn't do it. Come on, John. Let's see, more behind the scenes stuff. Oh, Little Nicky, Quentin Tarantino. QT, my man. He is a fun guy to hang out with. Let's just say that. We frequented every bar and place in Manhattan together and had a blast. More often than not, getting rowdy enough to be thrown out, but you're not thrown out because you're with Quentin Tarantino. I like that. You know, that's when Dante could be a little bit of the bad Dante and be like, oh, I'm with him. You know, so it was fun working with him, dude. He was the blind preacher in that movie, and he was classically funny. But basically behind the scenes are say, I'll give you an example. We're flying on the Sony jet to go back to do reshoots in New York City. And it's me, Sandler, Covert, Lochran, Jack Arapito, our normal guys. And I think, yeah, at that time we're still doing the comedy album, so we're in the middle of writing shit and talking about shit. And we're farting on the private jet and, you know, acting like fucking third graders. And you know, guys are like, dude, you got my fucking socks on, you know? We're like the Brightside guys probably with each other, you know, but yet on the Sony private jet. So the kind of dichotomy of us just being regular dudes, but yet having that life was always funny. Like at every Super Bowl, wherever we go, we're just like a bunch of regular guys who fart and eat steak and go out and play basketball everywhere. You know, it's kind of fun. We act like a bunch of brothers, you know, still to this day on set. If something's funny, then you say it. We give you credit, but we don't give you that much credit. And if you do something that's not funny, or you say something, that's when we make you eat shit. And we're like, yeah, no, that was fucking not funny. You suck. Where'd you come up with that, asshole? Hey, that was a funny one. Why don't you try that again? You know, like literally, Adam especially. I remember on Chuck and Larry. Chuck and Larry was a tough movie to do because it was such a huge ensemble. You got Ving Rhames, you got, you know, young, you got Nicky Turturro, all these people who you got to be funny in just little bits. So it was very difficult. And I remember not being funny, like once in a while or maybe often in that movie, just because I don't know, I just was missing sometimes, and that happens, right? Sandler would be yelling from behind the fucking monitors. What the fuck are you doing, Dante? That's fucking terrible. And like Nick Turturro's like, yo, you all right, man? You're going to be okay? I'm like, Nicky, shut the fuck up. We do this all the time. Like, yeah, I'm going to be okay. He's just trying to get me to where I need to be, you know? So motivation sometimes is him or us, you know, being as mean as you can to each other to get to be funny, you know? And also, I mean, a lot of the laughs, like in Mr. Deeds and some of the movies, a lot of his laughs or my laughs are real laughs, because especially when you're doing your close-ups, you're on camera right there off camera, and I'm here doing my close-ups, and the camera's right here, so you can do whatever the fuck, you know, what you can do that shit, and if it's rolling, you catch the real laughs and the real smiles, and you'll know when you cut, you know, in editing, you'll be like, dude, use that one when you fucking made me laugh my balls off for no reason or whatever, you know. So behind the scenes in Happy Madison movies has always been a fun place to be. We play basketball almost every single day. Me, him, Lochran, Schwartz, and whoever else wants to play with us, and so we go at it hard. And so definitively who wins, whether it be the morning game or the lunchtime game or whatever, talk shit the rest of that day, and we average 15-hour days. So if Sandler doesn't, if he's not smart enough to put me on his team, and I sometimes beat him, I will talk mad shit to him the rest of the day. Like, oh, how was that game? Oh, you only won 1 out of 5 today. How was that? You know, or you basically talk shit the rest of the day to each other, you know? We're guys who have grown up a certain amount because we've become parents, like we talked about earlier. But then again, at our core, we're still those young kids who just want to be funny. You just want to beat each other in basketball, or you want to beat the shit out of each other, which thank God has never happened. We've never had that happen.
Do you want to run through these back questions?
Yeah, sure. Let's run through some.
What makes Peter Dante happy?
Staying connected. No, I'm just kidding. You know what? What makes me happy is if the people around me are happy, and if I can also help. You know, if I can help people by giving them good advice or being there for them when they need me. Basically, if I wake up and I pray, I meditate, or I go run the stairs at UCLA at Drake Stadium, do some dips, do a couple pull-ups, go skateboard in Venice or street skate all over Santa Monica, that makes me happy. Or if I go and volunteer at a place called Get Love and help serve the homeless lunch, that makes me happy. Simple stuff, nothing big, you know. A hike makes me happy.
What's your favorite hike?
I like, you know, there's a mellow hike right up Franklin Canyon, dude. Mm-hmm. That's a really cool 360 view right up there. I like that hike.
What's your biggest regret?
I don't regret anything. Maybe getting an agent in Hollywood, because they're so loyal and truthful and never backhanded and never think that they're the shit. Or did I say that backwards? Yeah, most of them are full of shit. So I'm glad I never did get an agent. Anyways, no regrets, 0.
What's your spirit animal?
Spirit animal?
Yeah.
The lion. Because he's the fucking king of the jungle. And I believe that if I could be a lion, if I could embody myself and be a lion that flies, it'd be pretty sweet, you know? You can fly around and scare people, but yet, if you're a nice lion, you don't have to scare people, you can, like, protect them, you know?
Superpower?
Flying. Flying with a bit of my, the instinct I have to, I think I know what people are saying or thinking. I want to hear people talk in their head. I don't know, like that Mel Gibson movie. What was that? I don't remember what it was called.
What Women Want.
Yeah. The Brightside Boys. Yeah. I'm Mr. Brightside. You guys are fucking sweet. I love that. Yeah, What Women Want. I don't know what women want, but I want to hear the voices that go on in their heads, because I think there's more than one, especially with women.
What's the most annoying thing you get asked?
When people come up to me and they go, "Oh, bro, how did you get to be best friends with like Adam Sandler and Brad Pitt, and you like hang out with David Fincher and all these people?" I'm all, dude, how did you get to be best friends with your best friends? You know what I mean? I literally throw it right back on them. And that's one of my favorite things to do anytime, when people are like, "Dude, you're like my favorite." And I'm like, "Dude, you're like my favorite." You know what I mean? They're like, "Dante, I love your work." And I'm all, "I love your work." You know, I'm not good at taking compliments anyways, essentially, so I always kind of like throw that back at them, you know, anyone. And when they're annoying, or I can't say when people like say, "Oh, your movies suck." I'm all, dude, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't get that. You know, people who are haters in general, so I guess, and haters annoy me, but I sort of love them, you know, because you can't hate the haters. They just hate the game of life, and I love the game of life. I think it's a great game.
So what's on Peter Dante's bucket list as a man who can do anything?
You know what? The good part about your question is you worded it. I've been a man who's been fortunate enough to do almost anything. So I don't have a bucket list, man. I'm not one of those guys who's going to regret anything, like you said. I love that I've done everything that I've done in my life. No matter what, it's supposed to have happened. Because everything happens for a reason, you know. And whether it's good, great, bad, or indifferent, I know that there's so many more great things to come. And so many more challenging things and so much more life to come, and life is never what you seem it to be, but as long as I feel like you're not trying to impose your own will upon anyone or anything, that I don't think a bucket list is something that's realistic. I think you should just go with what you're dealt every day and then try to make the best of it, and that would be like my essential bucket list, just to make good at a bad or make do with bad or whatever, you know what I mean, or make the best thing that people think, just handle it like it's a regular thing and try to make it happen again in a different way or fashion, or with different people, you know.
So I'm writing your biography. What am I going to title it?
Dante. Something like that.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Due to all the intellectual characters I played.
Oh my god.
Oh God! Bring your rich butt back here and buy us all a shot. You know, yeah, I've always played the smartest guy, so yeah, that's the title.
What's your favorite joke?
Oh God, dude, I don't know how to tell a joke. If you guys got one, I'll try to tell it, but I'll fuck it up and it'll be awful. I've watched all my friends do their jokes at the Improv and stuff and test their shit from Rock to Farley to Schwartz and to Sandler, like test their stuff before they go on the road or before they do, you know, their HBO special or whatever. And jokes aren't my thing, dude.
4 words after the condom breaks.
Say it again? Oh. Wow. 4 words after the condom breaks. Uh-oh. Fuck. Shit. Do you really want to have a baby? That's sort of a statement at the end of the 4th word.
Good dude.
Tell us about the experience of losing your virginity.
Wow. Marcia, I won't say her last name because your husband will probably shoot me. Dude, it was weird because I was raised Catholic and I was an altar boy also. My mom, thank you Mom, would drag me to church like during the 40 days of Lent. I had to do every mass at like 4:45. The priest would know I was there. So I literally would sleep with this girl and we'd go to church and pray about it. And she had already had sex too, so really it was like me losing my virginity, and I didn't really. I was like, to me it was sort of a big deal at the time, but then obviously after the first time, we just like to practice. We're guys, so.
What's the bright side of your day?
Every morning when I wake up, first of all, it's good to wake up. You know, rather wake up than not wake up. Second of all, I wake up and I pray and I read and I usually meditate and thank God for another great day on His great earth. And that's the brightest part. And if I ever start to get too dark, I'll restart my day. You know, trusting that God's will is so much better than my will. Because in the years of my life, or moments in my life when I have found myself living in my own will, shit goes sideways, you know, or shit goes south on me. And so brightest part of my day is whenever I'm not in my own head doing what I think is the right thing to do. Because if you have a higher power or you're spiritual or you have something that helps you with that, whether it be that bottle of water or whatever it may be, I think it's good to rely on something else to help you make your way through the day and keep it as bright as you can.
What's Peter Dante's favorite quote?
Favorite quote? I got a wooden spoon! Yeah, that one or something from Henry David Thoreau.
Close.
All right, I think we have one final question.
So last question here, man. If you have one piece of advice for the future generation, what would it be?
Wow. Put down the text. Put down the video game controller. reach out, hug someone, look them in the eyes, tell them you love them. Love yourself first, because you're not capable of loving anyone else unless you love yourself. Realize that everyone's lives are not the ones that they chose. We didn't choose our parents. We can choose our friends. You can choose to be a great friend. You can choose to be loyal. You can choose to be what you can be. And always follow your dreams. Chase your dreams down until you catch them. And then wake up and catch your dreams every day, because no one can tell you what to do. No one can tell you what to be. No one can tell you who to love. So the future generation, if we can get rid of all this who can make the most, doesn't matter, man. You can't get buried with it. It should be who can give the most and who can receive the most. Because if I can give and you can receive, then we can do things together, you know. Because you guys are part of my future generation. That's why I came here tonight, to make sure that you know that I'm just a regular dude with a different job than someone else, which makes me no different as a human being. And I want everyone to realize that, because those that act too special, or those that have that ego driving them, are really going to end up crashing, whether they believe it or not, you know. So future generation, love each other, love yourself first, and try to listen to your mom and dad, because it's not that easy being a mom and dad. And you know we love you. We know, you know how much we love you. So, but I say you got to give love to get love. You know, that's the way it is.
Hell yeah, man.
That's good.
Hell
Dude,
yeah.
that was fucking
amazing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Peter Dante, I think, and I'm chilling out with the Brightside boys. Sick crew, awesome guys. They remind me of that song. I'm Mr. Brightside, like that. They're rad.